complimenting myself. That's so weird. Let's take our first. That's the dishwasher. Why? By Andres Sapkowski. Bless you. Hi friends, thanks so much for being here and welcome to the first edition of A Court of Books, a new TBR game made by yours truly, inspired by A Court of Thorns and Roses. Let's go to Prythian. In case you don't know what I'm talking about and you just clicked on this video because you saw TBR game in the title, then it might be a good idea to check out my video in which I explain A Court of Books. I will leave it up in the info cards. Because it is the first time I'm playing my game, I have gone easy on myself, so I'm only going to roll 4 times. And I haven't thought of a penalty yet, so if I don't finish the books that I am meant to read, there's not really any punishment. I could just say that I need to do an extra roll, but that sounds kind of boring. So maybe if you have another original idea, let me know. Before I'm going to take my first roll for the month of August, because yes, I totally forgot to say that. These are my August book picks. I want to say thank you to my patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support. And if you feel like it's something for you, head over to patreon.com, type in my name, or click on the link in my description. Yes, I definitely invest the pledges in my channel and the content that I'm making. Trust me, printing your own playing cards isn't as cheap as you would think. And in case you want to play along, you could just follow my rolls and my prompts, or you could roll the dice yourself, because I will leave a file in the description where you can also get the cards that I made, because sharing is caring, am I right? And now it's time for the first ever roll for this new TBR game, A Court of Books, for the month of August. I have shuffled all the card decks, so we're ready for roll number 1. And right here is our starting point. Let's see. 3. I have 2 options. I can go over here and transport to the night court, or I could go into the spring court. I'm gonna go and winnow to the night court, and that means the night court deck, so that's this one, the top cards. Morgan, a book with a sapphic romance. This is a very good prompt. I really like this one. I'm complimenting myself. That's so weird. Anyways, I just really like this prompt. It's a hard one though, because as of now, I have read all my books that have sapphic romances. At first, I thought about the Atlas 6 because I still want to read that book, and I got it in one of the adult fairy loot boxes, but there isn't really a sapphic romance in there. It was just too vague for me. So I went with another book that I actually really want to reread, and I know that there's a lesbian side character. Does that really count towards a book with a sapphic romance? I think it does. I mean, it's my own game, so I'm gonna give it a green light, but as I said, it's a hard prompt. I chose The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. Yes, this is a reread for me, but let me tell you guys, this is one of the best YA fantasy books I ever read. I read it 2 years ago when I didn't have that much experience with YA fantasy, so I'm curious to see if I still have the same feelings about it. And I want to read it because the second book, which is called The Merciless Ones, I believe, is already in my bookcase, and I really want to read it. And as I said, I know that there's a side character that likes girls, and I believe she also had like a flirt with one of the girls there, so I'm counting it for this prompt. In this bold and immersive fantasy, a young heroine fights to save a world that would dare tame her and discover she is her own fiercest weapon. You can kind of compare it to Children of Blood and Bone. It's an African-inspired fantasy. The main character is called Dekas. He lives in this little village, and there's kind of this ceremony day that when a girl bleeds red, she belongs, and when she bleeds gold, she's a demon. So you're being treated normal like everyone else, but when the day comes that you bleed and you do bleed gold, you're an outcast and everyone treats you horribly. So she gets taken away, and then she is picked up by this mysterious woman that brings her into this girl army, and I find out they have special powers and need to save the world and stuff like that. It's really epic, but it's also about important themes like racism, feminism, and all the characters are just wonderful. Now for role number 2. It's a 2. Let's see, what are my options? They both keep me in the Night Court, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go here. So again, we're going for the Night Court deck. And the top card is, not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Yoon City, a mystery thriller. The second roll is a little bit easier because I definitely have some mystery thrillers that I still need to read. So for this one, I chose The Reunion by Guillaume Musso. No, wait, it's probably Guillaume Musso. I got this in a Down the Rabbit Hole book box that I've only ordered once and then never again because the value definitely wasn't there. Doesn't get a really high rating on Goodreads. Nonetheless, I'm still intrigued. It seems to be a cold case of some sort. So we have 25 years ago, one freezing night, as her campus is paralyzed by a snowstorm, 19-year-old Finsa Rockwell, the most beautiful and glamorous girl at her prep school, runs away with her philosophy teacher, with whom she has been conducting a secret affair. She will never be seen again. The suspense. And then there's a present day where they find a body buried in the gym's walls. What really happened that long ago winter night? Well, we're going to find out by reading The Reunion. In case you're curious about my reviews, then definitely follow me or friend me on Goodreads. Then for the third roll, come on. It's a 6. This will be a good time to choose strategically, but I kind of forgot which prompts are on which decks. So I'm just gonna go for the Winter Court. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's this deck. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, I like this one. Blue Eyes, a book that has been staring at you. We have arrived at the Winter Court. The Blue Eyes is based on the High Lord Callias because he was known for his piercing blue eyes. So that's how I came up with a book that has been staring at you. You can take this quite literal by choosing a book that has eyes on it, or you could just pick a book that you wanted to read for a while, or a book that you just need to pick up. And that's why I chose Fake It Till You Bake It by Jamie Wesley. This book has been staring at me because I am a VIP, a very important page turner for Once Upon a Book Club. And this was one of their book picks and I still need to read it. And I really want to open the gifts and like film the unboxing of it. So yes, this book has been staring at me. And I just realized it is literally staring at me because there are also eyes on the cover. It's the perfect pick. I read some reviews that say that it reads like a Hallmark movie. I'm not necessarily a big fan of those, so I hope it's gonna keep me entertained. So we got Jada, who refused a marriage proposal on a television show, like a dating show, and to lick her wounds, she finds herself working at a cupcake bakery called Sugar Blitz, and the owner of this store is an uptight football player called Donovan. A reporter thinks they are dating, so they have to fake dates. And of course, the fake dating ends up in a real relationship. At least that's what I think. So that's the third book pick. Our final roll, it's a 4. It's summer, so let's go for the Summer Chords. The Summer Chord deck, we're going to grab the first cards, and it is a Water Manipulation, a book about elemental powers. The final prompt. This was so hard, you guys. I have searched my bookcase for I think about 30 minutes to find a book that fits this prompt. I don't know why I said a book about elemental powers. If I just said with elemental powers, it would have been easier. Luckily, I have a lot of fantasy books, and there is one, a series actually, that I have wanted to start for a while now. There's a TV show of it on Netflix. Can you guess? It's The Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski. Bless you. I think we all know the story of The Witcher by now. I'm a big fan. I absolutely adored The Witcher: The Wild Hunt. I got every trophy, and it's still to this day one of my favorite games. I adore the TV show, and I mean, it's Henry. Do I need to say more? I have already read the first 2 books, like the prequels, The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny, and I have just bought the first 3 books, and the main character has elemental powers, actual elemental powers like Art and Igni, which is fire, so it definitely counts. And with that, I am set for the month of August. These are the 4 books that I am going to read. So I can probably do 5 rules each month, but as I said, I wanted to like start easy and don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I'm very excited to read these books. This was so much fun playing A Court of Books for the first time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and let's stay in touch.